All right. Hello, everybody, to a emergency breaking news edition of the Dirty Balls podcast. You know it's important when we brought the other channel in on it. This is Jeremy. Say hello to all our fans and all of yours.
Hello, John.
Today's episode is still unofficially, but I'm going to pretend like it's officially, brought to you by Bold Rock and the new, or maybe not new, I've just not tried it yet, Carolina Draft. Amber apple cider. I've not tried it yet. That is delicious.
But most importantly,
Pointedly?
yeah. Good thing I didn't say the other word. That I can't
Yeah,
say.
I know.
No, we're not going to talk about that. But
I hate it when the Lion Royals.
yeah, sucks. How was the milkshake?
Oh, it was great.
It's delicious.
Go check out my page for how to make a Bold Rock apple pie milkshake.
Mm-hmm. And check out my page for boring, smarky wrestling nonsense.
It's very boring.
Boring.
That's right.
And check out my page for some Pokemon videos.
Jennifer, what are you drinking over here?
This is Dr. Pepper.
It doesn't matter what you're drinking over there because it's not Bold Rock.
That was very good.
Thank you. All right, so what are we here to talk about today?
The Arizona Fall League.
No, we're not.
Oh, no.
I mean, we can mention it, but
Oh,
that's
we
not
won't.
the... Okay,
Okay.
well, before we get into our main topic, let's have an update about the Arizona Fall League.
Okay, the Arizona Fall League is coming to a close at the end of this week with the championship game, which you can watch on MLB.com/AFL. And,
What time does it start, though?
well, locally it starts at 11:08.
Yeah.
Here it starts at 2:08 p.m. So it's kind of
This
an early
close.
game Saturday afternoon. They're 3 hours ahead of us.
No, they're 3 hours behind us.
Yeah. If they're 11 and then it says 2
It's-
here.
No,
It's 6 here. So, yeah, we're
it's
ahead.
3 there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
it's
ahead.
three. Yeah, that's what I
Like I
said.
said,
We're
they're
ahead.
behind
They're
us.
behind. Isn't that what you said?
He said
I got a
ahead.
Bold Rock.
Is that-
He
Anyway,
said ahead at first.
Royals.
It's
What is-
earlier in the day
what's
there
that
than
about?
it is
Yeah.
here, so they're behind us.
What is that? I must have missed something.
What does the line do?
Hey, Royals.
Roar.
I can't say that
Roar!
word. If I say it, I say Royals.
Hey, Royals.
Try it. He said it right last night.
Okay, Jennifer, what state is Boston in?
Massachusetts.
There we go.
Massachusetts.
Chase one day might play for the Kansas City Roars.
Roar! Try it.
Roars. Can't do
Huh?
it. I can't do it. Roars.
Can you
Roar.
say sore?
Sore.
You say,
I can say it.
Drop
I can't
the
say it.
S.
I can't.
can you say, very famous actor Mickey
Mickey Rourke?
Rourke?
Yeah.
Just drop the K.
I can't do it. Royal. See? Rip roaring time. I can say it when I say the rip, but I can't say it without the rip.
Okay.
Just say roar.
Rawr.
Roar.
Well, we'll find another word that you can't say that sounds like roar when you say it. So then we'll just say what you say there.
Oh, man.
So anyway, back to the Arizona Fall League.
Yeah, the Arizona Fall League championship game is this Saturday. Like I said, locally here it's 2:08 p.m. It's going to be the surprise Sororos.
Sororos! That was a surprise.
No, I've been saying Seguros all season, but because I'm an ignorant white boy.
Ignorant.
But anyway, they are playing the Salt River Rafters. So I think it's
Who cares about them?
Yeah.
Who plays on a
It
surprise?
doesn't matter what their name is.
surprise. Matt
What?
Lee!
Yeah.
We're energetic right now.
We are,
It
we
must
are.
be all this
And
Bold Rock, Carolina Draft.
Matt in the Arizona Fall League's batting 281 for his average. He hasn't got to play in too many games, but it's only stolen one base.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual for Matt.
Catcher legs catching up to him.
Yeah. Then we have Jax Biggers, who has kind of struggled this year. He's
Please
batting
tell
one-
me you can say that name, right?
Biggers.
Yeah, I'd be the one having trouble with that one. We're not going to say
You
that.
want me to say it?
No.
No, Andrew Jackson.
But anyway, Jax has kind of struggled at the plate in the Arizona Fall League this year. He's batting 173, but he scored 13 runs.
Come on in. I don't know if you want to.
What was last time? But anyway, Jax has, he's only batting 173. He scored 13 runs, which is 8th overall in the Arizona Fall League for runs scored by a player.
Oh,
You
wow.
got box scores over
Yeah,
here. So.
it's unusual. Only 2 RBIs, but he's walked 11 times, and he's got an OPS of 501.
That's good.
Yeah. And Bubba Thompson, who was an Arizona Fall Star, batting 235, scored 12 runs.
Get it, Jennifer? It sounds like all-star.
Yeah, I get it.
3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 707 OPS.
Which 3 home runs I think is awesome
It is.
because he only had, 5 all season long
5.
with a hand injury.
Yeah.
But you're facing better pitching
Yeah.
than you were in the actual season.
Speaking of better pitching,
What you got about better pitching there, buddy?
better pitching, we have another fall star, Cole Uvula, and if you haven't listened to Raised Sports, you need to do yourself a favor and listen to it. This season, they followed him around through the minor leagues from Hickory to down east. And, yeah, Hickory. Cole's doing pretty good. He's 2-0 in the fall league with a 2.79 ERA. It's 9 2/3 innings pitched.
You know who's not doing well? Whose name is also Cole? Garrett Cole. Real sorry
No,
about
he
that game the
not
other
doing
day.
well at all.
Oh man, he's one of the best. He's one of the best in the league, and
Mhm.
he just took a dump on that game.
And then,
And then last night,
yeah,
we don't
the
have
whole
this.
staff kind of.
Now I'm assuming
Uh-oh.
that maybe not Jeremy because they beat the Yankees, but the 3 of us are probably pulling for the Astros in this series. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
so I was very
Kind of
disappointed.
am pulling for the Astros. I mean, I'm kind of like.
I don't like Walgreens.
But
Real original.
well, I mean, I like the story with the Nationals. You know, they've never been, but
I love that they get rid of Bryce Harper and just immediately go to the World
Immediately
Series
go to the
after
World
that.
Bryce Harper
That's
called it at the
great.
beginning of the year.
yeah,
He said, we're going to go to the World Series in Washington when he was wearing Phillies uniform.
he's got the other team running.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah,
Dirty Balls podcast loves Bryce Harper.
The Astros are just fun to watch.
They are.
So I'm just enjoying it.
And I love watching Garrett Cole, baby, but he's not been that good lately.
Okay, back to the Arizona Fall League.
We are all over the place.
The next guy on the list is Nick Snyder.
Nick Snyder with a quick slider.
That's right. He is 2-0 this year. He's got 1 save and 3 holds, 5.40 ERA, with a 120 WHIP. He's done pretty good this year. Forgot to mention with Cole Uvula, he had a pitch in the Fall Stars game, 3,379 RPMs to strike out Joe Adele. That is insane.
It means the ball is spinning really quick.
I know what RPMs are.
Really? Then what
He
does it
also
stand
had
for?
another pitch that was 2,700 RPMs.
Revolutions per minute.
There you go.
Good job.
Can of Coke for Jennifer. Circle gets the square.
And then we had Donna's favorite player that's in the Arizona Fall League. He was a late addition. AJ Alexi.
With the dance moves.
AJ just came out, last week?
2 weeks ago,
2 weeks
maybe?
ago, yeah. About halfway through the Fall League.
Yeah.
But he's got 8 innings pitched. He's 0-2 with a 6.75 ERA.
But you can't be mad at that because he did not play at all during the
No.
season.
He was in. What was his injury?
I want to say Tommy, but I don't think so.
Anyway, he was hurt. He's just coming back. They've got him out there to get some pitches in. And you got Noah Bremer, who is 1-0 with a 9.95 ERA. He's given up 11 hits, 9 runs, and 7 of those were earned. He's actually had a good fall league. He just had one game where they teed off on him. It was crazy. But then we've saved the best for last.
The best
And
for
I'm gonna
last.
hand that off to
Oh,
Alan.
sweet. Well, the best because he's not because he's our player, but Josh Advocate. He is tearing it up this fall.
Why was he not a fall star?
We don't know. Acquiring minds want to know.
I think he got snubbed.
Yeah, But like Jeremy said, most of the pitchers that were picked were starting pitchers.
They were.
Josh is a reliever. But first of all, Josh had Tommy John surgery before he started his baseball career. He got an injury in football, had to have Tommy John. Not this past season, but the one before when he was here with Hickory, they shut him down probably about a month before the season stopped because he was getting soreness in the elbow that he had Tommy John. And so they shut him down, sent him to Texas. They were thinking that they were going to have to redo the surgery, but the doctor said, let's try doing this, and whatever they done,
It worked.
they fixed it. I mean, this year for the Ducks, he had an awesome year. I don't know the stats. I should have wrote those down. But here in the Fall League, he's played in 9 games, 3 saves, 11 and a third innings pitched. He's only given up 3 hits, 1 run.
That was that stupid pace of
Yes,
play.
that was
Yes.
the run came in to score because it went into extra innings and they started with the man on second, and he eventually came in to score. 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, and he has an ERA of 0.
.00.
His GOAO is .24, which the GOAO, which I didn't know what it was, so I guess it's my term of the week.
Yep.
I
Term of the week, right here.
Give me
Is
the
ground outs and pop outs. So that determines how good of a pitcher you are, and it also goes for in batting on how good of a hitter that you are if you're going to pop out or you're going to line drive it.
Whether or not you're missing bats.
All right.
So yeah, so
Arizona Fall League.
that's the Arizona Fall League.
I got one more stat to add to Josh's. His whip is 0.62. That's like the second lowest whip in the Arizona Fall League. Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Ethan.
That is a very nice throwback Kannapolis Intimidators hat you're wearing.
And what, yours is too. I
Well,
like
thank
that.
you so much. I love these throwback hats.
So old.
Now, it really takes me back, all the way back to those old days of the Kannapolis Intimidators, as you see Jennifer doing her best Phantom Light impression.
Check out my channel and see
There you go.
the last game at their stadium.
That's right. You remember way back in the day, those
Yeah.
crazy days of the Kannapolis Intimidators? Man, we were so young. Your beard was down to here at that point.
It was, and I had an accident.
Crazy, just crazy. I love to reminisce about those days, but those days are over. That stadium's gone, that team is gone, but not to fear all 17 people that go to Kannapolis games every week.
Oh, they'll be sold out next year.
That's right. You now have a new identity, a new logo, a new name, a new mascot, and at first I didn't like it, but after seeing a lot of different stuff about it, I have come to love it, and I feel like that's the same sentiment that we all share, although I think Jeremy liked it from the start.
I did.
I don't care at all.
I loved it from the second I saw it.
Anyway,
I didn't.
I didn't either, but now I do for reasons that we will get into. Of course, we are talking about the brand new Kannapolis, is it they're still called Kannapolis? Kannapolis Cannonballers.
Ballers.
Ballers.
Yep. Ballers.
So I guess the first thing we should do is talk about that name and where it came from and why it's significant.
So what's up with the name, Jennifer?
I don't know.
Trying to get you to talk on this episode. You ain't said nothing.
And you're not here to be
Y'all
seen.
were just chit-chatting.
It's called banter. We went over this in episode
Yeah.
what?
I don't know, it's when I asked you about Boulder Rock, which, by the way, is delicious.
I know what's up with the name. Cannon Ballers.
Well, go ahead.
There's some man, and his last name was Cannon.
Yep, and
And he did some shit in
He
Kannapolis.
owned Cannon
Calling
Mills.
out?
He owned Cannon Mills, and probably everybody out there grew up and used at least one towel that was made in Kannapolis, because they made a crap ton of towels.
I have news from Lucas that my father has some Cannon towels.
See, there you go, Cannon Mills.
We've all been
Yeah.
touched by the cannon.
Matter of
some
fact,
way or another.
the name Cannon in baseball in Kannapolis, the first baseball team, minor league baseball team that was in Kannapolis was a mill team, and their name, they were the Cannon Mills baseball team, but their name was the Cannon Towels, or Kannapolis Towels.
I would love, on that
That's
same
silly.
kind of subject, a bit of a sidebar here, would love to have a Hickory Rebels night sometime.
Well,
We
they
do.
had
Got it.
that,
We've done that 2 years ago.
I actually wore Rebels
Missed it.
uniforms.
and they were terrible.
Yeah,
They were entirely
But they
too
were-
big.
That's how
That's
they
the
were
point.
back then, though.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But
But
yeah,
I don't think any of the guys liked them.
Nobody
No.
like
Because
that.
of
Yeah,
that
that's
reason.
Yanni wore that jersey.
Mhm.
Mhm.
well, then I must have missed that night.
You would
sure.
think they would reuse them.
You think?
Because they use those god awful ugly Ranger jerseys.
I was slinging fries
We
somewhere.
talking about the dark blue ones?
Yeah.
You don't like those?
No,
I do.
I mean they're old.
It'd be
and-
better if it said Hickory instead of Rangers.
Yeah, but like I said, that's the old Ranger logo that they.
It looks like a spring training
Yeah,
uniform
I agree
from
with that.
2008.
That's kind of what it is.
I mean, I think the guys should wear their Ranger jerseys that they get drafted in. I mean,
That'd be
I know they
pretty
got
cool.
them.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
But yeah, but
Anyway,
Cannon bars.
the video, there's a video that Kannapolis posted on Facebook that we'll probably put a link in the description that goes over the history of, you know, how the name became and all the feedback that they got and everything, which the more, if you watch it, you're going to understand it. Like I said, when we were at Kickback Jet, or not, the Hickory Tavern Wednesday night, and
Music bingo.
playing
Fun
music
times,
bingo,
but I
and they
always
said
work
that
on
they were
Wednesday.
going to name, they were going to drop the name at 7. Well, it was 7:20, and we're like, "Where's it at?" Well, that's because they had a 20-minute video before
Oh.
they dropped the name, and so yeah, and
What were the options?
there was all kind. They narrowed it down to 3, but they never said what those 3 were.
yeah.
Bull Weevils was up there. I bet Ironheads is probably up there too.
Ironheads was probably
Yeah.
Bull Weevils, Ironheads, Cannonballers. I bet were the 3.
probably.
What's Ironheads?
It was Earnhardt's first nickname before the
Yeah,
Intimidator.
Ironhead. Of course, his nickname before that was Linthead.
There's also
That's what they called people that worked in the mills.
yeah. And there's also a Wrangler commercial that called him One Tough Customer, and that stuck for a few years too. But that wouldn't be cool on a jersey.
Kind of long.
The Kannapolis Tough Customers doesn't really. They all have that swoopy haircut that the memes make fun of, and they're always wanting to see a manager.
But
Kannapolis Karens.
They should do that. Submit that to them.
Just for one weekend.
They should all get that haircut.
but
The
you
big
know,
hoop earrings.
we you know, both shows have talked about how we should have a screw you Teresa Earnhardt night,
Yeah.
because this is pretty much
See Ethan's rant on my video.
her doing, because she wouldn't allow
press
them to keep
conference.
the name.
Yep.
You know, she wanted to be a bitch about it, and you know, we've all said, you know, how
We
we
feel
just
about her.
dislike this woman because you know she would.
She's from Hickory.
Ask the Houstons.
She wouldn't keep this.
I know a
going.
Houston. I go. There's a couple of. There's 2 Houstons that go to LR, and I've always wanted to ask her like, hey, Aunt Teresa or whatever you call her. How about how you feel about her?
Anyway.
But yeah, so we was like, how are we going to, or how are they
At least I'm talking.
keep the Earnhardt tradition alive? Because you have to. I mean, you know, watching that video, when you watch it, it does not matter what is going to go happen in Kannapolis ever. I mean, God forbid a school shooting, or someone wins the biggest flipping lottery in the world.
The
And,
first thing you go to is school shooting.
well, that's the way these times are today. I'm just saying, I mean, be traumatic.
Well, it's a tragedy.
Triumphal.
Or a triumph, yeah.
The biggest thing that you're always going to recognize Kannapolis with is Dale Earnhardt. So you got to keep that man in the team. And the mascot,
And the logo itself.
I didn't see, well, I really didn't see it at first, but then it was brought to my attention, he has the Earnhardt mustache.
And he wears an open face helmet like Earnhardt did.
That was the thing that I
Or
didn't
the
catch at all.
goggles.
I didn't catch that at first until someone put a side-by-side picture.
Yeah.
He wears his signature, because he was the only one left
Yep.
to wear the open face helmet.
Actually, well, trivia question. There was 2 drivers in 2001 that wore an open face helmet. And if you don't get this question because it's super obvious, because it's pretty close, who was the other person?
DW.
No,
Dick Trickle.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I would have guessed that, but you didn't even ask me. You just turned your back to me.
You've not been talking the whole episode.
But yeah, so the mascot is a guy that looks like he's being shot out of a cannon, which that's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the open-faced helmet with the Dale Earnhardt mustache.
And
So guess what? Fuck you, Teresa Earnhardt.
Yep.
Earnhardt is staying with the team.
And the hat that they wear with the alternate jerseys that says CB for Cannonballers. The one side of the B looks like a slightly stylized Dale Earnhardt 3.
See, when I first saw the logo and I first saw the mascot, my initial thoughts was, what is this hokey nonsense? But then...
Well, it's minor league baseball, so it needs to be kind of hokey.
But then I looked into it more, and I saw that side by side. I saw the goggles, the mustache, the helmet, the 3, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what it is now. We loopholed Teresa on this one, which brings me to the question, how long is it going to be before she gets this name too?
She can't.
Forever.
There's no way. She does not have enough money.
Yeah.
I can pretty much say that. And there's no. No.
I'm kind of curious because remember Dale Jr. said he would have liked for the Kannapolis to have kept the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I tweeted him.
I wonder
He ain't said nothing to me.
how he feels.
This guy, the only person in this room that has had interaction with Junior is this guy.
Right here. Yeah, you tweeted at me once after I made a YouTube video about him. Still my most viewed on that channel. Or one of my most viewed on that channel.
Cool.
Which is this channel because it's on my old channel.
I've been to his house. That's all I can say.
I've seen him race
Yeah, me too.
in person.
Several times.
I've been in his
I saw him win the 2004 Daytona 500 in person.
I've not seen him win anything because he sucked at Charlotte, even though it was his dad's best track!
No, that was Talladega.
No, yeah, it was Talladega.
His dad's best
He
non-plate
was the
track.
winningest driver at Daytona. He just couldn't win the big one except once.
One time, yes. Oh, Junior almost won the 2011 Coca-Cola 600, but that didn't happen
let's
either.
Pause for
Some
Station
wonderful words
identification.
about Boulder Rock.
Ethan.
Oh, no. Hey, good morning, Alan. I didn't see you there. I don't know why I was sleeping here, but that's not important right now. Boy, at school, they always... Well, let me get a hat on real quick. At school, they always ask me, they say, Ethan, why are you so positive all the time? You're just a happy-go-lucky guy. You're always in a good mood. What's your secret? And I tell them, I say, you know what I do? I start every morning with a delicious box of Baby Shark cereal and an even more delicious Bold Rock Carolina apple cider. It's the true breakfast of champions. If you don't believe me, go find yourself a local champion and he'll tell you too. Baby Shark and Bold Rock.
And we're back. Hey.
Did you enjoy those words about Bold Rock? I sure did. What's the name of the mascot?
I don't know. I asked Ben, and he never...
They probably haven't given him a name yet.
Hold on,
I'm
hold
going to
on.
start calling him Dale.
I was calling Jennifer. Jennifer, we've, either from your lack of wanting to say anything or our lack of letting you say anything, you've not had much to say this show, so go ahead, give us what you think the name should be of the mascot.
You didn't even ask me what I think of the logo.
Maybe we should
I don't like the
unofficial name
logo.
the mascot contest.
You heard it here
I don't like
first,
the logo
folks.
or anything about it, but that might just be because I'm a girl and anything short of something cool like Trash Pandas is not going to impress me one
Which is
bit.
probably the coolest logo.
Trash
in all
Pandas,
sports.
Yard Goats, those are more along the lines of names I
But
like.
you know what the best name is? Crawdads.
Yeah. I think we should call the mascot Dale until there's an official name.
Yeah, one thing I think could be really cool if they do it. Think about it. They're the Cannonballers. Their mascot is a guy who gets shot out of a cannon.
Whew,
They
I know
should
They
that.
need to have someone get shot out of a cannon.
Or just have when they hit a home run.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
that the other day. That would be awesome.
Have a fake, smaller version of whatever the other team's mascot is and shoot it out of a cannon whenever there's a home run.
Or shoot a cannon at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I mean,
Just do fireworks out of a cannon.
honestly, next season I didn't really give two craps about
Have a
the
bit.
new team,
Yeah.
but I can't wait to go to a game. It's not going to be opening day, but it's going to be within the next few days of opening day. So
I'm going to their home opener.
There's a high school around here. I think
Shoot,
it's,
that'd be too crowded.
there's a high school
It's
around
gonna-
here.
This is too many people for me.
I want to be there.
And Jennifer, and then me and her going to argue because no. Screw
I'm
that.
going to be there. Maybe do update.
You
road
can
trip.
go with Jeremy.
Yeah, road trip update.
We got to go to
Lexington?
Lexington to
We'll
get our
see.
rings.
We'll see.
I forgot who it is, but there's a high school around here that has a very loud cannon that goes off before their games. And
West
after
Lincoln,
games.
baby.
There we go. Let's borrow that.
It's where I grew up.
I don't think they'd have to borrow it. I think they could probably get the money right now if they're new owners.
All you got to do is get a tie rod out of a dump truck, put it on some wheels, put some black powder in it, and light it.
That's the redneck way of going about it.
That's what I had when
Panhandle VA
when I was at West Lincoln.
I didn't go to any kind of redneck school like West Lincoln.
Get her done.
I went to St. Stephen's Trailer Park High.
That's not Trailer Park High.
Yes, it is.
All right, they're going to
No.
debate high schools here.
Have you not seen that huge trailer park in front of St. Stephen's and the fact that they had 4 classrooms that were in trailers?
I did have civics in the trailer.
Okay.
I did.
I had
That's all right.
world geography.
Welcome back to high school talk with Jennifer and Jeremy.
I feel
The
like there's just
J&J High
one
School
trailer
show.
out there, though. That's the only one I remember going to. Yeah, did they not have trailers at your school? Is that not a normal thing?
In my middle school, they did.
Later started to get trailers at East Lincoln when I graduated from there. But yeah,
felt like that
I
was
took
a normal thing.
algebra in a trailer.
See?
Now
It's a normal thing.
Nowadays.
But another thing I was thinking with that, a lot of times the place that people get shot out of a cannon is at a circus.
Yeah.
And they did the whole big top thing and the reveal thing. They could have like a circus night. They can do all
I'm sure
kinds
they
of
will.
stuff with this identity.
I guess I'll leave my judgment to see how they handle this.
It's gonna be
They
awesome.
could drop the ball like somebody did in Hickory this year. But
This year.
yeah, pretty much.
This year was worse.
I'm going to do a thing where the cough is separate. Hickory.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a good year. I mean, I don't think they'll drop the ball this year.
I don't think they will either.
Drop the cannonball.
Yeah, I mean,
They're going to drop it on their toes.
Yeah,
the
that would-
stadium is going to be awesome from what
it
I've
looks
seen,
amazing.
and it's going to be right downtown. And then, I mean, it's next to a brewery, right?
Oh, boy.
There is a brewery right down the road, if not beside of it, right down within walking distance.
Oh man.
Well,
So that was my big turn on when I first heard about the
What
new
if they'll
stadium.
have a place inside the stadium?
I hope they have their own beer, like the
This is going to be the big
lager.
probably
Cannonball
the-
lager. Love it. Sounds great.
This is going to be the best low A stadium
Probably.
in the country. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. And I don't even know what the hell it looks like.
And they're going to go from one of the worst to one of the best.
Yeah, and then 2 years from now they'll have 5 people in it.
Well, let's
I
not go
hope
that
not.
far.
If they're still there.
I hope. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that whole thing. Oh, don't make me think about that. Look, we just signed a big deal to stay in Hickory for a while. So
We're
like,
good.
We're good.
We're
but
good?
We're
I
good
think the
now.
whole league is good because that's the opening round of negotiations.
So for those that don't know, there's a whole thing right now where a bunch of minor league teams
The
might
minor
get,
league contract with Major League Baseball, 2020 is the last year of it. So they have to renegotiate everything.
and a lot of teams are in kind of semi-thin ice of being eliminated.
42 of them.
Yeah.
42.
Currently, they're talking about cutting 42 teams.
What's there, 96 teams?
No, there's
18?
I mean, it's close.
160 something. Hundreds. It's in the hundreds.
They proposed the South Atlantic League to go down to 6
6
teams.
teams. I don't like that.
That would be terrible. We'd be seeing the
I wonder who would
That
wouldn't
sounds
play.
terrible.
Who would Hickory not play out of the 6 teams?
Asheville.
Everybody say it with me. That sounds terrible.
Terrible. Yeah. But
Hickory might not stay in South
I
Atlantic
think-
League. You don't know.
I think out of that, or what I read in that article, I think the big thing that Major League Baseball is after are longer contracts with the player development contracts.
If Hickory doesn't stay in the South Atlantic, League, where is it to go?
The new
The Carolina
mid
League or the
They're also
International
talking
League,
about, yeah.
or-
There would be low A teams that would become AAA, but they wouldn't do that to Hickory because we don't have the attendance. They couldn't do
We
We
that.
might
don't have
go
the
rookie.
facility.
It's
either.
not a big enough city.
We might be become Spokane.
Kannapolis, if Kannapolis is good enough, they can
Yeah,
do
they
it
can
above.
do it.
Yeah.
With that
With what they're
experience.
doing now. The thing that I
It's in
liked
too much
about
of
what
a
they
rural
said,
area. There's not many AAA teams in that small
Oh,
of a
that
town.
doesn't matter.
Well, speaking
Major
of-
League Baseball does not care about
Speaking
that.
of AAA, do you know that the New Orleans Baby Cakes are going to be no longer this season?
why?
They're
They're moving
moving
to
to,
Omaha?
I think so, Omaha. And then I found out today that the Durham Bulls and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays have negotiated a deal all the way to 2022. So they're going to be staying with the Tampa Bay.
2-year deal.
Yeah. So, yeah.
40. Well, anyway, new deal.
But the thing that I liked about that article, what it said.
I thought it sounded a long time away, and I forgot this is 2019.
Listen. What I liked about that article was where they were talking about how the Yankees are the ones that have so many farm teams. Yeah, and that's not right. Everybody should have the same amount. They can have that many more because you can have multiple rookie leagues, rookie teams, just like Kansas City has Idaho Falls and Burlington.
Yep.
With what they're talking about, what they're talking about now, everybody would have the same amount, which I think they should do that.
But one thing they did say, though, is you can have multiple complex level teams, which is kind of like a level below rookie.
Yeah.
But technically, I mean, it's rookie ball. Just when they don't have a place to put somebody, they're like, yeah, okay, we'll put them into complex, or what they have been calling is extended spring training.
Right. Which is, we have that. We don't have a rookie team.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
we have the AZL Rangers.
Right.
Quite selfishly, I just hope
complex
it goes
level
fast. As selfish as it sounds, I'll be fine as long as we get to keep the crawdads.
As long as we keep baseball in Hickory.
Well, I mean, well,
But now we got the.
with that contract, I guess that they will stay in Hickory, right? Does that contract mean they stay in Hickory?
If we lose
Well,
baseball,
we don't have a contract. They bought.
Right.
yeah. If we lose baseball, we can always expand into the ever-growing market of arena football. In
First, we'd have to have an arena.
yeah, and challenge those Asheville scary bear things. I don't know what they're.
I don't even.
I don't want to think about scary bears from Asheville.
Yeah.
But you know what's awesome in Nashville?
Christ on a bike, that is a good joke.
There's a place called Fire and Hair Care at
Yes,
Nashville.
yes, you gotta go there.
You don't need to worry about Ethan.
Hey, one of these days,
No.
right to the moon. Now, I'll have a beard one of these days.
No.
Jeremy and I went to Bold Rock this past weekend where they had their beer fest.
Beard.
Beard
Fest.
with a D.
Roar.
And
Raw.
Beard Fest 2019. I know you probably can't see it, but that's what it says.
and there was a little table there with selling beard care products, and it was called
Which I have in right now.
Fire Hair Care. And the guy who makes it, his name is
Fire.
Jamie Mills.
Far.
And he's
Mills.
awesome. Mills.
Yay!
Mills.
And
Who else does he tend to?
Was this real, what you told me?
Yes.
So, Dallas Keuchel.
And
well, the Braves.
he's at the Braves.
Braves. All right, well, Dallas
We
Keuchel's
figure
got-
it's probably Dallas Keuchel because he
He's
has an
the best
epic
beard.
freaking beard.
You are kidding me if you're going to say
But-
the Sheamus, too. Because
Sheamus.
he's not even from around here. Or lives around here.
They did a show in
He goes
Charlotte
all
not
around.
long ago.
They did. But
And
I was...
WWE contacted the barbershop that he's at and had not just him, but several guys from the barbershop go in and cut hair and trim beards for the WWE superstars.
Well, now I'm disappointed because I was at that show and Sheamus wasn't there, and now I know that he was at least in town. So they should have put him on that show, Vince.
But yeah, Jamie, he is a super cool guy.
He is. He is.
And he done one hell of a job on both of us. So go check him out. He's on Facebook at J Mills the Barber.
Jay Mills, the traveling barber.
Traveling because he just got back from Thailand.
Yes.
He went up on one of the monuments. He had to get permission from a monk to go up there and cut someone's hair.
And you got to shave
And
a lot of stuff in Thailand.
Watched him with a drone.
Yeah,
Make sure he was cutting hair.
but yeah, he's super cool. I mean, and if you have a beard, the oils and the bombs
Oh man, and they smell so amazing.
I like them.
Oh.
She likes it, so that's all that matters. I'm going away from Badass, even though they're veteran owned and operated.
Oh, man.
So I'm
That's...
going
Hey,
to-
that
I
was a
tell you
long
who else
time
you need
with
to go
Badass.
away from.
Who's that?
Grunt style.
What? What's that?
Jennifer Day? Take it away.
Well, I'm not taking it away. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. So we're done with Kannapolis?
I mean, what else is there?
So yeah, we like the new logo, we like the new
I love
name,
it.
we like the new
I
mascot.
like everything about it.
I did not like it at first, but I've come around to it after seeing everything. Everybody else is.
I'm the exact same.
yeah,
I didn't like it, but now I love it.
It's not a cute little animal, so. But we'll see if they do anything fun with it this year.
I wonder if they're going to do away with Timmy Gator.
Yeah.
They have to.
No. There are several teams that still kept their old mascot when they got a new identity and just had 2 mascots.
Yeah, but what does a gator have to do with? Because at
It
least
doesn't matter.
at least
You know,
Timmy
he's
Gator
painted.
rhymes
I mean,
with
you've seen some of the
Intimidators.
mascots that are with teams. They don't make any sense.
Yeah,
You're
like
right.
how does Mr. Moon make any sense with Asheville?
My gosh,
How does-
Spokane,
I got nothing.
Spokane,
No.
whatever it is.
And
They got like 3
They
mascots.
got what the
Teddy Torres.
recycling
And they're both
captain.
awesome.
Oh,
Well, Teddy
Yeah.
Torres, bears. It's the Smoky Mountains. There's a lot of bears. It is. It's in the. It's
Smoky Mountains are west of there.
all right. Well, it's near. It's in the Blue Ridge Mountain. It's in the Appalachian Mountains.
Appalachian.
Don't you?
Appalachian.
We all know what's up. We're from here. We know how to say it, James. All right, Jennifer Day, please take it away.
Before we hurt ourselves.
Get the shovel!
Jermaine!
I've not gotten that far yet.
Did
Naked Filipino.
you lose a naked Filipino?
I've not gotten that
Sex
far
thing,
yet.
that's right. That's
I don't know the reference because I've not listened to that episode yet.
I'll
But
say
did you
this.
lose your sex
I
thing?
think that is the best episode of Crime and Sports.
We're talking about crime and sports, the other podcast.
That we steal from all the time.
These guys, we steal from these guys all the time. They were
Normally
talking
we
about
steal from
Glenn
Small Town Murder.
Robinson.
They're back here. What else?
Glenn Robinson.
Big dog.
Yes, Big Dog,
Big
Glenn
Dog.
Robinson.
Go check it out. Go to Apple.
Yeah,
Go wherever you,
James and Jimmy.
wherever you get your your podcast stuff. Go check Crime and Sports out.
That
Small Town
Small Town
Murder.
Murder.
Leukemia patient.
But
son.
this past
Yeah.
week it comes out on Tuesday.
I'm sure it's a sweet little girl.
Crime and Sports comes out on Tuesdays. Small Town Murder comes out on Thursdays. Check out this past week's Crime and Sports with Glenn
It's
Big Dog Robinson.
hilarious.
By far the best.
Yeah,
So
we love it
hilarious.
because it's a much larger show than us that does not need a free plug, but we're giving it one anyway. Speaking of free plugs, drink some Bold Rock. Is that all?
And go
Anyway.
fire haircut.
All right, Jennifer Davis, back to you.
So we ordered those shirts whenever they had that raid on the warehouse. What was that? Like at the end of September?
Whenever they raided Area 51, I bought some T-shirts.
So it was 420 Blaze it, 920 raid it. So 920 is when they raided Area 51. Anyway, and they had that raid the warehouse sale at Grunt Style. So he ordered a couple shirts. Well, like right after he ordered it, they emailed over a tracking number. Well, that tracking number never tracked. We finally emailed them, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have this one shirt, so pick another shirt."
Sorry.
So he picked another shirt.
It was
And
on
then-
pre-sale
And then they're like, well, that's a pre-sale. So it'll ship on, what did I say?
this weekend,
The 27th?
which it says "fuck cancer" on it, and this is October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And it's already the 24th.
Thank you, because I was about to say that. And now,
They
where's my
finally,
shirt?
they finally shipped it today. But
No, they created another label.
that is true. It has not started tracking yet.
So hopefully I will get my shirts before the end of this month, and I can wear them.
But I mean, my God, you shouldn't have to wait a
I must
month.
have got out while the getting was good with them.
And then my last shirt that I ordered, my UFO shirt, it took forever, but it was a pre-sale. But I had to message them a couple times, and they were like, "Oh, okay, here it is," and then boom, I got it. Like,
Yep, because the label was created at 7:49 this morning, and it ain't got no tracking yet, so it ain't left that building.
When I was dealing with them, they were. I mean, everything was boom, boom, boom.
Well,
boom.
maybe they're just too
Right there.
popular now, and they can't handle it.
I've never
Yeah,
bought
that
anything
might
from
be
them.
it.
I don't
well,
know.
I
but
see now hiring signs on Instagram.
I don't know.
That's probably
but
it then.
I am not impressed one bit,
Wow.
which is a shame because we would love to support them and everything,
They
but
got some awesome shirts.
if
What
it's
about-
going to
what about
be
my
that
beer?
much of a... What about your beer? Yeah, that's on pre-order, so you shouldn't even have me emailing them.
I didn't know it was on pre-order.
So you should have looked on the website like they told me.
All right.
I don't appreciate their email.
The general is inspecting the shirts.
Yeah.
What?
Well, we have talked
How do you
about.
know we're done.
Because we.
Who's finished?
He's done, so we're done.
Well,
This
I mean,
is
is
how
there
it
anything
goes.
else? Is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything you want to plug at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, go check out Pokemon Speak and watch me as Totodile.
And go check out Moose Candle Company.
Moose
on
Candle
Facebook.
Company.
Most definitely. Bring a candle over next time.
It's a shame he doesn't have any candles that smell like leather.
I will.
We've heard that
I
also.
know. The baseball got in the way.
It did. All right. Well, we've talked about the Arizona Fall League. We've talked about the new Kannapolis identity. We had a special guest. So we hope that you all enjoyed our special emergency off-season update edition
Danger.
of the illustrious, amazing, beautiful, awesome Dirty Balls podcast.
What's illustrious mean?
It means very important. And,
Shiny.
very well regarded and well known and famous.
F is for famous.
That's right. F is for family. Watch that.
D is for dirty.
And B is for balls. And
B is for balls.
And P is for
It's a
podcast.
baller.
And
Ballers.
S is for surprise saguaros.
That's right.
That's right.
So-
Surprise!
And C is for championship, baby.
That's
Let's
right.
get this
That's
Saturday.
right. That's right.
Woo!
Thank you for watching. Peace out. Yeet. And all that.
We're in on Friday.
That's right.